USS Enterprise or CVN-65, was the first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier and the 8th United States naval vessel to bear the name. Like her predecessor of World War II fame, she is nicknamed Big E. At 1,123 feet, she is the longest naval vessel ever built. The only ship of her class, Enterprise was, at the time of inactivation, the third oldest commissioned vessel in the United States Navy after the wooden-hulled USS Constitution and USS Pueblo, which is held captive to this day in North Korea. She was inactivated on December 1, 2012, and officially decommissioned on February 3, 2017 after over 55 years of service. She was stricken from the Naval Vessel Register the same day. The name has been adopted by the future Gerald R. Ford-class aircraft carrier USS Enterprise or CVN-80. In 1958, Enterprise's keel was laid at Newport News Shipbuilding and Dry Dock Company. Enterprise was intended as the first of a class of 6 carriers, but massive increases in construction costs led to the remaining vessels being cancelled. Enterprise is the only aircraft carrier to house more than 2 nuclear reactors, having an 8-reactor propulsion design, with each A2W reactor taking the place of one of the conventional boilers in earlier constructions. She was the only carrier with 4 rudders, 2 more than other classes, and featured a hull design more along the lines of a cruiser. On September 24, 1960, the ship was launched. She completed her shakedown trials in April, and on November 24, 1961, Enterprise was commissioned. Because of the huge cost of her construction, Enterprise was launched and commissioned without the planned RIM-2 Terrier missile launchers. Initially, the carrier had little defensive armament. Late in 1967, Enterprise was fitted with a prototype basic point defense missile system, with 2 8-round box launchers for Sea Sparrow missiles. A third launcher was fitted during the ship's refit between 1970 and 1971. Later upgrades added 2 NATO Sea Sparrow and 3 Mark 15 Phalanx Sea-Whiz gun mounts. 1 Sea-Whiz mount was later removed and 2 21-cell RIM-116 rolling airframe missile launchers were added. The USS Enterprise participated in many operations over her long service life. The ship was used to track John Glenn's first orbital space flight before even being commissioned. The ship's first major deployment was in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 1964 she participated in Operation Sea Orbit, in which Enterprise along with USS Long Beach and USS Bainbridge sailed around the world for the first time in history without requiring refueling. After a nuclear refueling in 1965 in December, she became the first nuclear-powered ship to engage in combat when she launched aircraft against the Viet Cong in the opening stages of the Vietnam War. After a distinguished performance during the Vietnam War, which was ongoing at the time, she was dispatched as part of the United States response after North Korea seized the USS Pueblo in 1969. After the ceasefire in Vietnam in 1973, USS Enterprise was sent to Bremerton, Washington so she could be refitted to accommodate the new Grumman F-14 Tomcat. Enterprise was the first United States aircraft carrier to deploy these aircraft. In 1975 she deployed to Vietnam again as part of Operation Frequent Wind, when South Vietnam and Saigon were evacuated. During the 1980s, Enterprise ran aground on 2 separate occasions. She participated in a number of deployments around the world, including Operation Earnest Will and Operation Praying Mantis, where aircraft launched from Enterprise destroyed an Iranian Navy frigate and seriously damaged another. During the 1990s, Enterprise helped enforce no-fly zones over Bosnia during Operation Southern Watch. In November 1998, shortly after the start of a deployment, a Northrop Grumman EA-6B Prowler crashed into a Lockheed S-3 Viking on the carrier's flight deck. She later led Operation Desert Fox, destroying Iraqi military targets with more than 300 Tomahawk land attack missiles and 691,000 pounds of ordnance. The 70-hour assault was carried out by the warships USS Enterprise, Gettysburg, Stout, Nicholson, and Miami. In 2001 she was deployed to provide air support during the U.S. invasion of Afghanistan. She was also deployed as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2004. In April of 2008, USS Enterprise entered the Newport News shipyard for a scheduled overhaul and refit. As maintenance was performed, costs continued to rise above projections and the completion date repeatedly slid. Enterprise, the oldest active combat vessel in the Navy, was scheduled to be decommissioned as late as 2014. In 2009 the Navy elected to speed up the process to decommission Enterprise. Under this new timetable, the ship would complete one final deployment before being decommissioned in late 2012 or early 2013. This would temporarily reduce the U.S. Navy to having only 10 active aircraft carriers through the launch of the Gerald R. Ford in 2015. In October 2009, the House and Senate Armed Services Committees agreed with the recommendation, approving the decommissioning of Enterprise in 2013 after 51 years of service. Enterprise was deactivated on 1 December 2012 at Norfolk Naval Station, Virginia. With her historical status, efforts were made to turn the ship into a museum, however this was later determined to be too expensive with the ship needing 8 nuclear reactors removed, an issue that plagues the U.S. Navy to this day. The third carrier in the Gerald R. Ford class after USS John F. Kennedy is to be USS Enterprise with a hull number of CVN-80. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe and share the video. We look forward to seeing you next time.